as it relates to data, they've done a great job of getting it on our website where we can all access it. So it's all at our fingertips and all accessible. So we can go into the different majors and degree programs and see the different diversity data, whether age and race and gender, if they came from high school, if they entered later on. So it makes us all kind of aware of what it is. So we're all trying to increase diversity because we can all kind of see where it is now and where we want it to be.
So I know one of the pieces that we had looked at data-wise is what students are completing, what should be transfer degrees, so general education, associate of arts, and associate of science degrees, and then not matriculating to a four-year institution. So that's one big piece of data that they've pulled down and kind of looked at the diversity and equities in that, and then we're working very hard to, kind of address those in some way, more engage those students in those certain populations to get them to those transfer institutions, whether it's a partnership or a traditional transfer, because that's one inequity that I know we were aware of.
Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, we had a model where if a student wasn't able to place directly into our Gateway English course, they'd have to take 1 or sometimes up to 4 developmental reading or writing courses. And often students never made it out of those courses because they got discouraged, and so they never even got to that college level English class. So the result of that was that only about 50% of our students were able to complete their English course in the first year, which is a big deal. Being able to complete English in your first year is an indicator of whether you'll be able to complete your degree program altogether. So we ditched the developmental English model, and now if a student isn't able to place directly into our Gateway English course, we put them in there anyway. And we also have them take a co-requisite course in which they meet with their same instructor right after their English course to get some additional instruction and time with that instructor. And our numbers went through the roof. It went from 50% of students completing English in the first year closer to 80%. And most of that change we saw when we sort of disaggregated the data was happening among our students of color, because not only were sort of lower achieving students being segregated out into those dev ed courses, it was actually racial segregation in the sense that students of color were often the students in those courses. And so now that we have gotten rid of that model, we're really seeing our achievement gaps among these different groups of students narrow more and more every year.